I am joined by Geandra Almeida, the head women's golf coach at Lee University. How are you doing today, coach?
Pretty good.
Yes, thank you. So how has your start of the season been? I know that you have your first tournament upcoming pretty soon. It's September 11th, on Monday. So sure you're getting
Yeah,
ready for that.
we are definitely getting ready for the first tournament of the season.
Mhm.
We finished up qualifying rounds a few days ago. We have the lineup set up, and we're excited to get the ball rolling. So
Mhm.
it's coming up next Monday and Tuesday, and I
Mhm.
think it's going to be a really good tournament for us.
Yeah, that'll be in it says Greenwood, South Carolina.
Yeah.
Mhm. And you're the head coach at Lee University, and Lee University is in Tennessee.
Yes, Cleveland, Tennessee.
Yes. So talk to me about Lee University. It's a Division II school, and also I see your home course is Cleveland Country Club. So talk to me about, your program, Lee University, and also your home course, Cleveland Country Club.
Yeah, Lee University is a private school located in Cleveland, Tennessee. We're a Christian school, and we have about 5,000 students.
Mhm.
We are part of a great community here in Cleveland. Our home course is, like you said, Cleveland Country Club is a private course, and we have access to the course. We have our practice facility there, and we also have two other public courses that we can play, and it's called Flagstone and Falcon Point. And we also can play over there as much as we need to. But when we talk practice, when they say we're having a team practice, it's usually at Cleveland Country Club where we have like a chipping green, putting green, and a driving range we can practice on.
Yeah, so it says on September 18th and 19th, you'll be hosting a home tournament at your home course. What is it like, not only coach, but to also, host a tournament at your home course?
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Mhm.
Since I returned to Lee, I decided that we should always host a tournament first because Cleveland Country Club is a great course.
Mhm.
It's a it's a challenging track, but I think it's really good for especially for women's golf, like the length and everything is suitable for girls. And at the same time, it's pretty challenging, but it's always a great shape. And I wanna give the opportunity to our community here to see like really good golf and really good level of golf, college golf here in our area. So we got the bid to host the South Region regional NCAA
Okay.
in May. So that's why we're calling now the regional preview.
Okay.
But last year we also hosted, and that's my plan to keep hosting a fall tournament every season.
Mhm. So as coach, hosting a tournament at your home course, do you get to select the teams that compete in the tournament? And if so, do you try to keep like a diverse field, like some of the top teams in Division II and then some of the bottom teams, or do you like to keep a mixed
Absolutely.
field?
Yeah, well, when I started with the idea of hosting a tournament here, I invited all the teams in the country,
Mhm.
and I always wanted to have like a very competitive field. And the first year, last year, I had a lot of teams from our conference and our region, and this year is even more competitive because obviously it's more attractive as we're going to be hosting the regional. So I invite all the teams that I could possibly invite and did too. And my goal is always to have a very competitive field where the teams feel like they're playing a great track and competing against the best teams in the country.
So growing up, you grew up in Brazil and you were the number one ranked amateur in Brazil. What was it like growing up in Brazil and playing golf in Brazil growing up? Because I'm sure, golf is probably not the most popular sport in Brazil.
Yeah, it might be the least popular, but yeah, it's funny every time someone asks me about golf in Brazil. Um, Yeah, I guess my story with golf, it's kind of unusual. Like I am from a family that is pretty much into soccer,
Mhm.
and I played soccer as a young athlete, and my dad was actually a soccer player, but he passed away when I was a child. So I couldn't get the coaching from him that my brothers got. So the way I started playing golf was I was invited by a couple that was very close friends to my family, and they started this small country club in my hometown. Just so you have an idea, my hometown, we have about 600,000 people, and we only have one golf course, and then it's only 9 holes. So you have an idea how unpopular golf is in Brazil. And but I was curious. I feel like I always like to play sports. Soccer was my favorite, but I like golf because it was pretty challenging. Like I never forget my first lesson. I watched the pro like doing the swing, and I thought, "Oh, this looks so easy." So when I got the golf club in my hand, I go like, no, this is not easy at all. And I think that was the main reason why it caught my attention, because it wasn't easy, and I like the challenge. So that's why I start playing. So I was like 14 when I started playing golf, kind of late, but I loved it since day one. And so I play a lot junior golf, amateur golf in Brazil, represented Brazil in a few international competitions. And and then life goes on. We don't have golf in school in Brazil. We don't have golf in high school. And and then I just play competitively because I like competition, love competition. If you know me well, you know I love competition. And but then at some point I start working, and let golf a little bit on the side, more like a weekend kind of thing. But I was missing something. So for 2 years I was like really into working and focusing on my professional life over there. And at some point I felt like something's missing. So I just went back to competition. That's what happened in 2009. I actually, mid 2008, I decided I want to go back and play some tournaments in Brazil, and I start practicing. So I start focusing a lot on golf from like June to December, and and then I start playing the national ranking again in 2009, beginning of 2009. And that's the year I finished number one ranked, amateur ranked in Brazil, and I had many opportunities to represent in Brazil, like in two competition the same year, two different competitions in the same year, and that was really great. Like I'm glad I went back, and that led me here too, because my husband, I was recently married when my husband got an offer to move to Cleveland, Tennessee for work. And then I started thinking, well, what I'm gonna do there. And a friend suggested me to, why don't you play golf? I think you're still eligible. And then I found I didn't know anything about golf or college golf at the time. So I started searching for schools, and then I found out that in the AIA schools they didn't have age limit, and Lee University at the time wasn't in AIA school. So that was just a perfect fit for me. And I got to play golf for Lee for 2 years. And then my husband got transferred to Michigan. I transferred to Bethel University in Northern Indiana, and I finished my college career there. After I finished as a player, I started as an assistant coach for Bethel University, and I stayed there for 3 seasons as an assistant coach, and then took over as a head coach for 2 seasons. And when Coach Malpin, who was the golf director here at Lee University and was my coach when I was a player here, he invited me to come back and work with him. And then so my first year I worked as an assistant coach, and then the second year I took over the women's program here at Lee.
So growing up, you talked about competing internationally. Did you compete mostly, in Brazil, or did you get to travel and compete internationally as well?
Yeah, I play some international
Mhm.
tournaments representing Brazil and mainly in South America.
Okay.
So I played probably 4 or 5 different countries in South America. But yeah, it was a great opportunity. Every time you have the chance to represent your country, it's always like a great thing to do, and I always love to do that.
Yeah. What did it mean to you to be, the number one ranked amateur in Brazil? And I'm sure you were winning a lot of tournaments in your, junior career.
Yeah, that year I played all the tournaments that were
Mhm.
for the ranking purposes. So in Brazil, if you are well ranked in the amateur rank, you get to travel, and they take care of your expenses to travel. Like if you're number at the time, it might have changed. Like it's been a few years since I played there, but at the time I played, if you were number 1 or 2 in the amateur rank, you would get your flights, your hotel expenses, everything taken care of. And I got to play all the tournaments, and as soon as I was well ranked, I could transition into not having to pay for to play those tournaments. And so that's what I did, and I was really focused that year. And at the time, it's just for the sake of competition. I really like to compete, and my goal was to finish number 1 ranked. So it was pretty special when you put the work in, and it's a lot of dedication and time and traveling. And I was still working, but I get to manage those trips with my work, and I loved it, and it was really really a great feeling when the year was over and I finished number 1.
Yeah. So growing up in Brazil, then you attended Lee University for your first 2 seasons of college golf. How
Mhm.
did you end up attending Lee University, and what drew you to attending Lee?
Well, it was mainly because my husband, I wasn't the traditional, I would say, college player that comes to college when they're 18, and they pick whatever is the best fit for them. For me, truly, it was location and the school that I could play for, because I was like already 26 years old when I decided to come to US and play golf, college golf.
Okay.
So it was mainly because I wanted to be in Cleveland, and that was the only school that I was eligible for. And but ended up being a great fit. Lee University was a great fit for me, and I love my time here, and that's why I'm back, because I love the school, I love the people here. I feel like everybody's very supportive of each other. They want to see the students succeed on and off the golf course, and that's the main reason why I love this so much as a student and a player, a college student. And I wanted to be a part of this again. So and I love the area, to be honest. I really love the area as well.
So after 2 seasons at Lee University, you then transferred to Bethel University. So why did you transfer to Bethel University?
That was
And
that was
how was your time at Bethel?
Yeah, I transferred because my husband was transferred for his work. So
Okay.
we you wanted to stay together, and
Mhm.
I transferred to Bethel, and I had a great time at Bethel. I was very lucky with my college journey here. I had a great 2 years here at Lee University. I didn't want to transfer, to be honest, but that was the right thing to do at the time. And I found Bethel University, which is a great school as well. I had a great time. I had a great coach there, and he was also my mentor to start with my career as a coach. And so Coach Hess was a great leader for me, a great example how to run well a golf program. So it was great. I had a great time, and then I had the opportunity to start my coaching career there. I finished my degree, my undergrad degree, and then I got my MBA from Bethel University.
Mhm.
And so I every time someone asked me about my college journey, I would say I was very lucky. I had great coaches two great coaches. I was able to be a part of two great teams, and we were very successful together.
Mhm. You served as an assistant coach and then also as head coach at Bethel University. Can you talk to me about your time coaching at Bethel?
Yeah, that was my beginning as a coach. So it was a great time. I learned a lot during the process. The way that I coach today, the way that my coach philosophy or culture is it started there. So it was great. I had the opportunity to start recruiting and doing everything that I could to run the program the way I believed was a great way to do. But also I had great leaders there. I had a great athletic director, a great director of golf. So I feel like when you are well mentored, you are set up to be successful. And I think we had a lot of success together. My first year as a head coach at Bethel, we went back to the national championship. And last time we had competed in the national championship, Bethel University had competed in the national championship. It was when I was a senior there, when I was a player. And so it was really rewarding to get those accomplishments done there. And to me, like deciding to come back to Lee was the right decision for my family, and it had to do with my husband's work again. But mainly, uh, it's because I want to also be back in this area. Like I love the weather here a lot better. The winter up there was tough, and but again, I have only great things to say about Bethel and Lee University, where both schools provide me the opportunity to play for them and to work for them, and I'm very, very grateful.
So when you were a head coach at Bethel, your team finished runner-up in the 2020 championship, national championship. Can you talk about how what it meant for your team to finish runner-up in the 2020 national championship?
Yeah, it was great. It was a very young team.
Mhm.
We, obviously we play against a really strong team at the time, and but it was great. And I believe the way I recruited that year set up Bethel to win the Christian Nationals in the next 2 years. And in that class, it was strung together, and I'm proud of the class I put together there with my recruiting. But certainly it was a great experience that we had. We learned a lot on that national championship, and I truly believe that experience built their successes for the next 2 seasons, that they will actually end up winning the Christian Nationals. And it was great to see.
So then after being head coach at Bethel, you returned to Lee University where you were the assistant coach. Um, and then now you're the head coach at Lee. So what drew you back to Lee University and what does it mean to be the head coach at Lee University?
Well, to me, it's a great opportunity, and it means a lot to me be back here because that's where I started my college journey, and I had a great time here. And I was just very grateful for the opportunity and to be back, to be a part of a very competitive team, and with a team that has a lot of great resources, great golf courses to play, great resources for practice, and to set up the team to be a successful team. So, and what brought me back was, the opportunity, and because I knew this program very well, and I wanted to be a part of, and second, because it made sense to my family. And it made sense for my husband's. His job was actually leading him to be here at Cleveland a lot, very often. So it made sense for us to relocate to this area, and to have this opportunity to have my work here and his work here as well.
Last season, your team won the South Conference Championship. Can you talk to me about what it was like for your team to win the conference championship?
Well, it was great. It was wonderful. We worked really hard that season. Um, a season before I joined, I rejoined Lee University, the team lost the conference championship by one shot. And the following season, which was my first season, and when I was still the assistant coach, we lost the conference championship by one shot again. So we were very determined to bring this one home this time. We didn't want to make the same mistakes we did before, and we worked really hard. That was our main goal for the season, to bring the conference championship home. And it was a very competitive tournament. And I would tell you, before, I would say the last three holes, we still were very close to the other teams. It was very competitive. And at some point, it crossed my mind, oh my gosh, this is going to happen again. We're going to lose by one shot. But then the girls responded pretty well the last three holes, and we end up as a team, the last three holes, we finished at 5 under, which was great. And then we end up winning by three shots, I believe. So it was really great to get it done. We worked hard for it, and it was nice to have my first season as a head coach and bring this trophy home for sure.
What do you think it'll be like to host the South Regional um next year? Because last year your team got to compete in the South Regional, but this year you'll be hosting it. So what will it be like to host the regional?
I think it's a great opportunity. Like I said, I want the best teams in the country to be playing here in Cleveland and play at
Mhm.
Cleveland Country Club. Like I said, it's a great track and a very challenging one. Um, we are excited to have this opportunity to play at home, and to have all these great teams play around here. So we're looking forward to it. And we had the opportunity to host in other uh, like a few years ago, but I wasn't here. So this is the first time I get to be here when we host it, and I think it's just like a great opportunity.
So your team starts their fall schedule, their this upcoming season in just a few days. So can you talk to me about how your team looks and maybe what you expect for this upcoming season?
Yeah, this is a great team. We lost two great seniors, like two grad students, and I would say 50-year seniors. That's the right term for them. But yeah, I came from a very experienced team to this one that is a good balance, because we added four new players. Two of them are freshmen and two are transfer students, so with a lot of experience. And so it's a great balance. And it's a new team, and I have great expectations, high expectations for this team, because it's a team that works really hard. And we want to have a great season. We are preparing for it. And we don't want to waste the opportunity to play here at home, and having great teams coming to play the regional preview here. So we're excited. We're ready. We're working hard. And right now I have 8 girls in my roster. I will tell you, everybody, absolutely everybody in my roster has the opportunity to play. We have 8 strong players, and it's always going to be hard and to see who is going to be actually in the lineup for each week, because I believe everybody can be, and that's pretty excited to have when you have a very competitive group, and that is always supporting each other to be at their best. But you know that every week we're going to have our best top 5, and it can always change.
Finally, what do you enjoy most about being the head women's golf coach at Lee University?
I love the opportunity to mentor my players. To me, a successful coach not only helps them to be successful on the golf course, but off the golf course as well. So to me, my players are like family, and I want to be able to do what my coaches did for me when I was a college player. They were great mentors. They helped me on and off the golf course to be successful. And I want to give them the same opportunity. I want to give them the opportunity to grow. This is the most important time of their lives, when they're away from their parents for the first time, and when they have the opportunity to grow in all aspects of their lives. So my joy is to see these girls grow up and becoming professionals, and in whatever they might choose for their lives. But it's, to me, it's really a joy. It's a great opportunity, and it's something I love. I love the game. I love competition, but I love great relationships as well. So if I would describe my program in 2 words, I would say I'm all about competitive, and being competitive, and also relational. Like I work really hard to have good relationship with my players, and they know they can count on me on and off the golf course. I'm here for them for whatever they might need in their college journey.